All right, good morning. Market just opened. Another red day, it looks like. We talked about going through another market correction. Looks like we're going to do that. Unfortunately, the volume appears to be increasing. Friday was a pretty hefty volume day. And we came right up to basically market highs. And I don't know why I wasn't looking at that. I didn't really zoom out at all on the Nasdaq on Friday or Thursday or Wednesday. Pretty much any time last week. But yeah, look at that, right near market highs. It's a very quick snapback. It is likely to be some distribution as we do get back towards the highs. There's always going to be people that remember the good old days and are selling some of their positions as they get back towards those highs. Also, the whole macroeconomic thing, Brexit, all that good stuff. Hold on. And what do we have this morning? We've got NBEV up, EDU, CGC back a little bit, Match.com. Match.com on Friday with a pretty good day. This one doesn't appear to be broken. Let's look at the rest of the actionable list. Got NBEV, EDU, CGC, O'Reilly looks great. Match looks great. AMRN does not look great. This thing undercut huge, broke the 50-day. The volume wasn't big though, so it's not destroyed. Boot doing okay. Tandem holding up. Acacia pulled way back in much further than I would like. Much further. Hack, C-Trip not doing so good. Nvidia pulled back in a bunch. I didn't check this in since it closed. It is an inside day, which is good. We broke that trend line right there this morning, which is not so good. Chasing Take Two Interactive. Okay. There's Take Two. They keep exchanging positions. TTD. That's what I wanted to look at. TTD Friday with not a lot of selling, actually a pretty low volume bar. Looks like it's getting back towards the bottom part of this potential channel. If we bounce off it, that would be a confirmed channel. Fortinet looking okay. Stone looking pretty good. Friday, look at Friday. Very mild day for Stone. IQ. Looks like IQ broke out of the range lower this morning. Could be day to pick it up if you're super bullish on this name. But yeah, getting close to the 50-day too. That could be a decent pickup day. Probably give it a little bit of space this morning. I wouldn't rush into it. All right, let's get into the actionable list. We've got Cron. Looks like a pretty not that big. Earnings coming up tomorrow before market, so today's your first day to or your last day to get anything with Cron or get out of it. NBIV, Tilray. Wow, SIVB. Wherever you are. Look at that. Huge days. That's almost a buy day. So much volume down there. See, look at the volume there. Ended up being the low. Rejected it there. This one was on the way down. Although that did close in the middle, that probably would have been a decent looking day to try a trade. And this day, not as big. We'll see how that one goes. CGC up 1.89%. It's like coming back through the trend line. See if it'll maintain or not. The volume wasn't that big on Friday, which was a bonus. Hey, what's up, Eli? Yeah, a little bit more red. A little bit. See NASDAQ turning a little bit green here today. Well, my actionable list went pretty green too. We got NBEV, EDU, CGC coming back into the flag so far. Acacia trying to make up for Friday. Good luck, Acacia. Don't think you'll do it, but we'll see. Got some MJ stocks doing good. Where's our MJ ETF? 0.95%. Doing pretty good. Didn't really break much trend. Friday definitely was an elevated sell day. We'll see how the market reacts. So with Friday being down so much, I haven't really looked at IBD yet. Let's look at IBD and see what they said about it. If I remember correctly, S&P had 6 distribution days, probably now has 7. Stocks dodge bullet as Mueller report kills impeachment. I was actually thinking about that this morning as I was trying to wake up, is that I wonder if the market sold off because of the Mueller report. Just a precautionary measure. I don't know, it's just a thought. I can't say it's necessarily why it sold off, but there's some risk. Let's say the Mueller report did show a bunch of stuff, and it was obvious that Trump was going to get indicted or have to step down or something like that. I mean, a complete change in well, I don't know. It'd be different. I don't think the market would like if a president has to go through that. So the fact it doesn't may mean that maybe we bounce back pretty quickly. Maybe these are buying opportunities in some of the stronger names that have broken down. We'll have to see. SIVB 1.5%. Boeing bouncing back a little bit, and not really. All right, let's go top down. You know what? A balloon? What do you mean? Wow, trades on EDU this morning. INS looking really good up here. That's a nice high tide flag right there. That pretty much, that almost qualifies as a high tide flag. So I can double check over here. All right. Where are you? Oh, there we go, 350. Oh, okay. Here we go. I don't know what these mean. With a falling volume trend and a U shape. Interesting. So I'm over here reading. My voice isn't doing very good. I was chipping out a wall yesterday and got a bunch of crap in my lungs now. All right, let's go. Big picture. There we go. Got off sidetracked on that one. Oh, my action will list went red pretty quick. Most of these flip right back to red. I have to take Chesapeake. Oh no, I was thinking about Lumber Liquidators. This is still working its way back down to the channel. That may be okay. Was it INS? I'm really liking that flag pattern right there. I mean, a lot. So Bulkowski in his new edition put high tight flags in his thing, and what he stated is that the average rise is half the height of the flag. So this one's about 1160. So that would be 575, something like that. So basically 3590, give or take. That's not that good. $24 days. Put this guy on my short list. WFT down a bunch. I bailed on this trade on Friday when everything was going, so remove that. IQ. That's not really actionable. ST&E's fine. TTD's fine. Nvidia is okay. Skyworks is getting not okay. ESNT, that breakout day was great, but look at the action afterwards. Man, even Friday with the market just having a really bad day, and the market's back down to almost negative 1%. We were green there for a minute. Boot. AMRN, more failure. Oh, O'Reilly's still looking good. It's actually up 1%. We noted and Friday it ended up having not a bad day, but pretty normal for most stocks on a Friday, like what O'Reilly's looks like here today. And Bev, EDU. EDU and INS probably looking the best, obviously. You know, I need to make a high tide flag screener. This needs to happen. Oh no. Yeah, this needs to happen. All right, let's figure this out. We'll use our high tide flag screener every day. Not sure why I haven't thought about this earlier. So we need to do a couple of things. We want to make sure we have good decent market cap stock. So let's go over 500 million. This should be in millions. What else? We need average volume. Whoops. Yeah, that's where I wanted to go. Oh, it needs to get past 3 point. Needs to get almost not quite 4% on INS for it to really be considered a actionable trade. But it's tightening up really nicely above this 10-day moving average. All right, let's do that. We'll do... How do I get... Oh, it's filter and that's custom. No, it's not filter then. There, study filter. There we go. And we need to do if price close is above the price low from high tide flag should be over 2 months. That's 8 weeks. And I think this takes into account weekends, so we'll do 60 days. This won't give me what I want. I need a close crosses below low. Above low, I need to do buy 80%. Within 20 bars. Close crosses above the low period from 60 bars ago. Within 20 bars. Makes no sense. What did I do? Where that 20 come into play? INS hasn't budged from that 3.56% level. Has not budged. Nah. I'll have to do that later. Thought that was going to be fun, and it's going to take a little more work. Acacia moving lower. Square undercutting some prices. It's going to have to find some support, otherwise this is going to just fall apart. INS getting up with the program, 4.52%. There we go. So it's trying. Let's see if it has enough volume. Volume today, not very big comparatively. Not sure if we're going to end up with a oh, there we go. There's a little bit of volume. Nice. There we go. There's some volume. Why is nothing working for me today? Now StockShed just broke. There we go. Man. Wonder if that was me and E-Trade did the same thing. Oh no, StockShed's not showing me anything. And oh, INS has no options. What are they changing this by the fucking minute? We're just looking at INS options. Apparently everyone's confused about INS options because they just had them. Wasn't I just looking at INS options? Well, I guess you gotta buy stock if you want stock. Good volume on the come up here. Well, let's see what INS can do today. EDU, O'Reilly, NBEV, Boot, C-Trip, Market happy, living lower, 0.75%. Looks like you got some MJ stocks doing good, although MJ's not up here. It's an MJ stock. Wherever MJ is. Looks like undercutting a little bit. You also have to see how this market pullback goes. So if we take a look at the NASDAQ, let's open that up a little bit bigger. 10-day, 200-day, and the 50-day. We'll actually get the golden cross here in a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure if they've started talking about that yet. Golden cross is when the 50-day crosses the 200-day. You don't see it very often because most of the time it is. The 50-day is above the 200-day. But yeah, there's that possibility right there of golden cross in about maybe a week or so, depending on how crazy this market gets. .7%. So let's see if we have a trend line here. There we go. Hi, Mr. Trendline. Let's see if that holds. Not so sure if it will. Trend lines on indexes aren't really a thing. Not really. Much better in crypto than on indexes. That's for sure. Chesapeake giving up a bunch here. Heading right back down to that trend line. Stone coming down towards the lower part of that gap day range. Nvidia down another 2%. Volume on Friday we noted wasn't that bad. Volume today so far not bad. And we'll see how we end up, but we could end up with another entry point on Nvidia. Skyworks pulling back further. Not really liking that. ESNT just kind of failing this breakout. Strange. Shut up, phone. This phone's talkative this morning. All right, CGC failing that trend line again. So pick the ones you like. Hopefully they hold up, and if they hold up, and start to find a place to get involved. Unless you're already in O'Reilly from the other day, that you can just hold that one. That one's working pretty good. EDU also being a leader here today. And then INS trying to break out here into highs. And it looks like it already did break out into highs. Pulling back a little bit. We'll see how that works out. That was a pretty good candle. That last 5-minute candle. Maybe look at the volume already today too. Man, this is this is a very low float stock. Go from 55,000 shares traded, 1,000. So pretty volatile. No wonder it has no options. All right, Cron trying to get back with it. Kind of fell apart on Friday a little bit. The volume wasn't that bad though. We also did note earnings are coming up here on Cron. I will say this in regard to the MJ stocks. I think they're still pretty overvalued in terms of traditional stocks and PE ratios and things of that nature. Go to FinViz. Pretty sure Tilray's PE is just ridiculous. 366 is the PE. For Tilray, that's the forward PE. Don't give current PE because it's not profitable yet. Only 10% institutional ownership. Wow. Market cap 6.5 billion. Sales of 43 million. How do you have negative 67 million income on sales of 43 million? That's crazy. Let's look through some of these names on FinViz here and see what we get. So I'm gonna be looking at market cap, sales and income here. Be looking at EPS, institutional ownership, institutional transactions, insider stuff, and PE. Pretty much right up here. Maybe some short float. So leader today, Cron. Market cap 3.4 billion. A lot of this is just blank. That's weird. Sales 186 quarter over quarter. Insider ownership still 89%, with institutional owning an additional 17. Wow. That math doesn't compute. That's 103% ownership or whatever. 106. This should be 11. That's funny. Unless some of the institutions are insiders. That's a weird one. Pretty limited on data there for Cron. CGC. 10 billion market cap. Not a lot of data. 282% sales quarter over quarter. EPS 4,100%. No insider or institutional ownership. Oh, it's Canadian. That's probably why. Short float 30%. That's pretty big. That'll cause a squeeze. 2,700 employees, really. Wow. You think growing something was manually intensive? ACB. Pretty thin on this one too. Also Canadian. 8.7 billion. 41 PE. Sales 363. Not a lot on these. Okay. So that not yielding up very fruitful results. Oh well. All right, Cron EDU so fun up here. Not so fun on the weekly chart. Funko, pretty interesting. Ring doing pretty good. Didn't really sell off much at all on Friday. That shows some strength. And now today we're moving up, kind of out of a little mini consolidation. I don't think we have a pattern here. Could be a small ascending base, as a matter of fact, actually. Doesn't meet exact criteria. You have some undercut here. This one's pretty good. And then a third base right here. So your breakout technically would be right there on an ascending base pattern. Base 1, this a loose base 2. It's a base 3. But look at this morning, just moving on. Ring. This coin would also, or this stock would also be considered not an IBD stock because it doesn't have 400,000 of average daily volume. So a lot of people wouldn't trade this one. I'm sure the average dollar volume isn't that heavy either. So let's just do 240 times 17.8. Yeah, some people only trade over like 10 million, 20 million, 25 million average daily volume. So this doesn't really qualify for a lot of institutions. It did over here. It's come down quite a bit. Oh, this would have been good for my breakout strategy here. Let's look at the fundamentals on Ring. Huh? iShares. Global Miners ETF. This isn't what I thought it was. Oh, this was like Ring the doorbell company. That's funny. This is a gold ETF. Looking really bullish. There is a KL. I believe this is a gold name. It's on IBD's lists all the time right now. O'Reilly doing good. EDU popping up 4.15%. EDU on Friday with really no selling. That shows some confidence by some of the market players here. And it looks like they're rewarding it right now, trying to move into out of this level. Lilly also with some strength. Elevated volume, but didn't move. So Eli Lilly showing good stuff up here. Wonder if it's in for a bigger run. And look at that volume. Just crazy volume. Just crazy volume. That's weird. Tesla gets hit? Oh, yeah. 2.256. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's not good. Inventory car prices. They're not going to like that. Musk tweeted on Sunday prices on all Tesla inventory cars worldwide rise by about 3% at midnight. Doesn't affect Tesla website order prices. Existing inventory prices are currently slightly lower on that website. I didn't know they were making inventory. Another referral program. That was the other day. Oh, they're adding free supercharging as referrals. Oh, wow. Well, we'll see how the market responds to 250. That's been that's been its floor here recently, and we'll see if that holds. See if there's still big buyers down there. So Tesla's down back at 250 if you're buying. I've been talking to her for like 2 weeks about it getting lower, and then now it is down here at 250. INS up 7% now. Into new highs, already a little bit of distribution. On the daily, though, looks pretty good. See if it'll keep going. Boot, C-Trip. What's Cron doing? Cron's coming back pretty nicely. EDU flagging out. Winnebago's not looking bad here. Looks like earnings were today. Yeah, those were earnings on Winnebago. It didn't sell off, so that's a good thing. Can't say for certain it's gonna rocket up, but it's fighting with this trend line. Has been since middle of last month, it looks like, or about a month. Fighting with that trend line for a month right there. If it can break that, get some momentum in it, maybe Winnebago can start to see some semblance of a comeback. There's Tilray doing good. Lilly up 1%. Boeing come down a little bit. What's Etsy doing? Etsy looks like they fell off on Friday. Volume pretty weak though, so that's good. A little bit of a bounce day here for Etsy. There's your gap bottom. Fills the gap here. And back down to the gap bottom again. Could be a place to enter this trade if you're interested in Etsy. Got 13%, just up to recent highs. 73.5. That's not bad. I'll just hold on. Tesla's a long-term play. That thing's so hard to actively trade. I mean, really, it's very difficult. The stock market doesn't like things that are unclear, and Tesla's still pretty unclear. Just got to keep it real on that one. It just is. I mean, look at the gyrations of this thing all through last year, just huge moves. I mean, buying at 250 has always been advantageous. 1, 2, now a third trip down here after we broke out over here in 2017. I personally haven't touched this thing since that cup breakout right there. I traded that, but since then, I think I sold it just before it had this thing was earnings or something. So I sold before earnings. I haven't touched it since. It really hasn't given super clear direction. But I think Tesla, if you're looking for much longer term holds, these are great prices. 250 historically has been pretty good. And for me, this has always been a longer term hold. This is very difficult. Look at this. There's nothing here to like actively trade that's of quality. I mean, it's just not of quality. The chart itself. I like the company. I like what they're doing. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit ago. Well, towards the beginning of the stream here. One thing I failed to realize because I was kind of zoomed in is that yeah, we were getting right back up to highs. Here's kind of where the breakdown started to occur, and so us selling off as we get up towards that point again seems rational. I can't expect this to go directly up. We do have some pullbacks. We talked on Friday about kind of how long we've had here in between tops. You know, so 18 days there, and then we have another 8. Is that equal? 18. Oh, it's 26 days, 18 bars. This one's 18 days, 15 bars. So we were kind of getting a little extended in the rally. Could use a pullback, but that's much more of a pullback in terms of volume than I was expecting. I wasn't expecting a day like that on Friday. That's for sure. We did hold the 10-day, luckily, but we did have basically an outside day. I think the high here, 44.75. So yeah, it was not an outside day. The high on this day was higher than the day on this day. So it wasn't an outside day, but it was not a good day. So breaking support of the 10-day here. We came back down and formed this trend line. And that's pretty much the only time we broke in support of the 10-day other than this point right here. But breaking here, I guess the volume did get pretty elevated, but I will say this is that this was a pretty bullish day. These other 2 days were higher volume comparatively to recent past, but they did have some topping wicks. So that probably should have been a warning sign. Now down about 1% today, so but overall I don't know if the full bull market is done. Brexit's going to happen. That's going to be a big macroeconomic thing. I haven't heard latest developments on that. Last time I heard, they were pushing for a new referendum. Let's go check that out. Oh, 30 minutes ago. No date set for a third vote on May's deal. And pull this one up for you guys. Oh. What is this? Another one? Bond market recession warning. That's good. U.S. curve inverted. On Friday, as investors wager the Federal Reserve will need to cut rates. Fed just can't win. Oh, wow. Yeah, so yeah, I saw the inverted yield curve stuff. I mean, you can't discount that. Yeah, I don't think you can really discount that, but Tesla 258 bouncing off that 250 level. 254 was the low. I'm gonna sell some puts down here. Sell some 240 puts. Going way out. All right, you want to get some puts going on right there? Sell some 240 puts. There you go. 65 bucks. There's some on the bid. 61.25. If you want to hold it till January 2021. Want to go closer? You can go out to here. That's $1,000. 920 bucks. If you got the margin to hold that position, that's been a pretty good trade this whole time. All right, let's check out the markets now. I'm going to bail, guys. We got INS up here. Looks like rallying into new highs. One of the few that are. Actually, the only one that we've seen that's even close. EDU trying to break out. We'll see what volume does today. It's pretty good so far. We're about 3/4, 2/3 of the way up from Friday's volume. So that's good. O'Reilly been good all morning long. And we've noted for the past week, O'Reilly looking pretty good. You got Match.com, basically flat. Trying to work its way into new high territory. And Stone If you're interested in Stone having some pretty good volume pops on a down day, this could be a potential day to get involved. And Nvidia now down 3%, looks like continuing. And we'll see if that's going to find support on that trend line. We're at the 10-day. Quite a few things happening right there. So, all right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Have a good day today. Hopefully the market doesn't get too crazy. If we can just have a few days, maybe a week or so pullback, maybe get back on with the program here, that'd be great. Maybe we'll come up and double top. We'll talk about that tomorrow and see how the market's behaving. But right now, look for strength, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.